What up, Scam? Welcome to Bar Vibes with Bryson Forbes, giving out raw reactions and interacting with the masses. No subject is safe. You hear the people and the noises, but that's the point, because without the people, what is the point? Embrace some vibrations. First and foremost, shout out to Messi. And if you don't know who he is, you're living on a fucking rock. For becoming the Argentinian all-time leading goal scorer. I know that there's so many people out there who just love Ronaldo and they think he's the GOAT and yada yada yada. He's not, and I know he has stands, and that's okay. There's a case for him, but if you watch footy, as I do, you know that Ronaldo is, for him, it's more so he's just bigger and faster than a lot of people that are defending him, while Messi is skill. That man he's smaller than most people on the pitch. I said pitch. Again, if you know footy, you know what I'm talking about. He just got worldly skill, and good shit for him, man. They are headed to the World Cup finals, so good on you, Argentina. Anywho, Eagles, Giants. Let's go, Birds! Let's go, Birds. Talk about it. They came out of the gate with one fucking mission: destruction. They've been talking about it all year. Well, wait till they play the Giants. I can't wait. Well, we played them, and what happened? They got their asses bust. Hurts is the most locked-in looking quarterback that I have seen in a very long time. He's not worried about anything else but the end goal. My girl asked me, she was like, why doesn't it look like he's having fun? I was like, no, he's having fun. I guarantee you he is having fun, but he is going through so much shit that he wants to be able to, like, when I get one of these things, then I'll have some fun. But until then, tunnel vision. The Eagles can beat you in any way you want. You want us to run it on you? Get ran on. You want us to throw it on you? Get thrown on. You want us to make it a defensive battle? Let's have that as well. And then the Giants got the little bubble pop where everybody's like, oh, look at the Giants. No, don't look at them. Put your binoculars away. They're not doing shit. Which is crazy because the division's so good that they could still make the playoffs, but they weren't going to do it on our dime. All the three Batmen showed up. Skinny Batman, fast Batman, swole Batman. At the times that they needed to do so. I don't know what the Giants safety was doing on the 4th and 7 to Devontae Smith, which was a design play call. Now, normally a team 4th and 7, they're not gonna be like, yeah, let's go for it. Middle of the field, they might try a long field goal. They just punt it away. No, that's not how we get down. Not worried about you. Not worried about your offense doing anything to us. We're going to go down the field, and we're going to light it up. The one thing that people don't understand is that the Eagles do very well at staying on the field. Long, just methodical drives, just converting on third downs. It's because the season's not over. I'm a very superstitious person, so it's very difficult for me to be like, oh yeah, this is. But it's a very, very familiar feeling. I'm not gonna say about what you didn't hear it from me, but I'm just saying that I'm just saying. The defense yet again eats 7 sacks. BG, he had 3 of them things. They got a turnover, and then they held another really good running back under 60 yards, maybe under 50 yards. I can't remember what the stat was. Miles leaves the game. First 1K rushing player for the Eagles since Shady. Show that man some love. A.J. Brown, first 1K since Macklin. That was the Chip Kelly days. And they rushed for 156 yards before contact. Now, if you watch football, you would understand that means the fucking O-line is just demolishing people. They don't even want you to touch their running back. They're elite. And then the tight ends and the wide receivers are blocking their asses off. What more can you ask for? It did suck that we lost our punter for at least a couple weeks. I mean, I'm not saying he was doing anything crazy, but I mean, you know, having a teammate go down. Oh, Reed Blankenship is okay because he filled in for Gardner Johnson, who I hope can come back as well. The Giants are just one-dimensional on offense. If they can't run, their day is numbered. We got an extra spark with special teams. They improved. The B. Scott run back was fucking awesome. You got the second string in the game at the middle of the fourth quarter. Yeah, you know there's an issue there. And then we give them that Mickey Mouse touchdown at the end of the fourth quarter. Who cares about that? Because they were getting their asses whooped. And if you didn't see it, Miles Sanders did the whole thing with the Bobby Boucher, like, I'm going to make this noise. when he gets a block. He was more hype about the block than he did getting 144 yards. It was bomb. But at the end of the day, 12-1, I can take it though. Eagles. Dolphins Chargers. Justin Herbert, he's doing his best to prove that he can be elite. He finally got his wide receivers back, and this is what it looks like when you have a competent wide receiver core. Mike Williams was bodying niggas all day. And then you get Austin Eckler, who fights for every single yard. I'm pretty sure they said he has 500 yards catching and 500 yards receiving. What more could you ask for? The Chargers defense played really well. Tua Tagovailoa started 3 of 17. You completed 3 passes out of 17 to start the game. That is a recipe for disaster. Tyreek Hill, for me, for the Dolphins, was the only shining light. That fumble was wild. How do you not know that you can chase down this man? Minus you, he's the fastest person in the league. And then you just watch him end around the entire pile, and you're just like, oh no, that's coming back. No, it's not. You can advance the ball. It is a thing. A healthy Chargers team can be very dangerous. This is a very confidence boost win for them. And they didn't charge themselves, which they've been doing for weeks. And the wild part is that the Dolphins almost got the onside kick, and they could have just brought it back. But they didn't. Chargers didn't charge themselves. Good on them. Good for them. Niners Bucks. Oh my goodness. Brock Purdy beat Tom Brady. Brock Purdy, a lot of people don't know that man's name, beat Tom Brady. This is the first time that a quarterback in his first start ever has beaten Tom Brady, coupled with the fact that he was the very last pick in the NFL draft. Last, Mr. Irrelevant. These are the kind of games where you would actually like to see a rookie play in, because he doesn't have any pressure on him. I'm a rookie. I wasn't even, the man was sitting on him, he was probably eating fucking candy and just chilling. He was like, oh, y'all want me to play? I mean, why not? It's like playing, probably just running around in the backfield, just having fun. The Niners defense exposed that man, and by that man, I mean the GOAT. He looked more like the rookie with the late throws and the high throws, and I get it. The Buccaneers O-line is just not really good, and you can tell that Tom just like I don't want to get hit. Like, please don't hit me, to the point where he's just throwing it too quick, or he's throwing it too high, because he's literally protecting himself. He's making business decisions, which I can understand from a 46-year-old man who decided not to go home to his wife. And then Giselle's probably somewhere like, I don't want to say I told you so, but anywho, Christian McCaffrey helped Brock Purdy so much. He had a monster game. It's what you need when you have a really young QB, where you can just take the pressure off him. And then even after Debo went out, apparently it's like a high ankle sprain and not like a really bad injury, which he could recover from. It's like 4 to 6 weeks, so playoffs are in like 5 weeks. I think they'll be okay right there. The Bucs lacking the running game just kills them, and they got exposed. Even that dumbass touchdown they shouldn't have got it. Should have been 35-0, but hey. Congratulations to Brock Purdy. You beat the GOAT in your first ever start. Nobody could ever say that. And Tom Brady shook his hand after the game, which is big, because he could have just walked into the locker room, but he didn't. Gave kudos to that man. Chiefs Broncos. The Seahawks spotted the Chiefs 27 points. If you were watching it, or even if you watched the highlights, you're like, oh yeah, Chiefs got this handled. The Broncos defense came out very, very flat. They've been pretty good, but they didn't have any offense to help them out. But they just came out flat as hell. And then they came out back at halftime with the Michael Jordan secret stuff. Mr. Unlimited actually looked pretty comfortable in the second half. I'm not going to lie to you. The Broncos defense, for some reason, has some really good turnovers against a very normal, calm Mahomes. The man threw 2 picks in 2 minutes, and that's what got them back in the game, because they capitalized on both of those. They were up and then turned over with a dumb throw from Mahomes, and then they scored, and then another dumb throw over the middle. He was trying. Teams play that like the zone because they know that Mahomes can run at any given moment, and I'm being gritted on right now. He threw some ugly picks, and then it doesn't really matter because that's Pat Mahomes. If it wasn't for Chris Jones getting pressure on the Seahawks, they had a good chance to come back in this game. But when you got a lead and you got Patrick Mahomes, you're not really worried. You could actually say that if Russell Wilson doesn't get hurt, they could have come back. Just like when you give Mahomes too much time in the end to come back, when you don't take away enough time at the end for him to just bleed the shit out of the clock, you're going to lose. The Broncos, they did their best to come back, and it just wasn't in the cards. Wild stat, Pat Mahomes has played the Broncos 10 times. Pat Mahomes has beaten the Broncos 10 times. And then even before Pat Mahomes got there, they won 4 times in a row. The Chiefs have beaten the Broncos 14 times in a row. It would suck to wake up on Broncos Chiefs Day as a Bronco fan, but like, yeah, we're going to lose this game. That's just awful. Vikings Lions. The Lions come out and they're shocking some people. And this is a huge divisional win. I've been saying the entire football year, their offense is really, really good. It is. They're averaging over 26 points a game. What more do you want? They just needed some defensive help, which they finally got on Sunday. The Lions came out swinging. You know what I'm saying? It took Kirk Cousins a little while to get Justin Jefferson involved. I'm pretty sure he had 2 catches for 30 yards, but then the man had 223 yards in the entire game, and they still lost. Took the Lions to have some really good young receivers, but their run game is efficient. Jamal still running it, and then Jared Goff, like I said before, he's the best game manager in the NFL. But now he's just looking like a really good quarterback. His coaching staff is getting the best out of him. The Lions defense was on Cousins' ass all day. Pause. They took some chances. That fake punt in their own territory was very unnecessary, but he still did it. And that dumbass, the Vikings on the 3. You could tell that it was a jump pass attempt because Dalvin was trying to gather the ball. That was a bad call. Listen, you got one of the best running backs in the game. Just punch it in. The Justin Jefferson non-touchdown score, I don't think he was out. His toes they weren't on the white line, and his back foot wasn't touching anything. That was a touchdown. I don't want to hear it, but I don't listen. I don't work for the NFL, so it is what it is. The Lions are looking like a team that want to make the playoffs, man. I don't know. Vikings, you had a chance to clinch the division in this game just by beating the Lions. You didn't need any help. And boop, drop the ball. So we'll see how it goes after this, but Lions are looking like they're trying to do something here. Steelers Ravens wasn't a game full of explosive plays, but it also was a game that you want to watch because it's Baltimore and Pittsburgh. If you watch football, you know that it's going to be a very close game, no matter the record, because they just play each other well. Kenny Pickett looked like he's trying to play hero ball now, and I need him to not do that because that's just not his role. They do need to put a better defense. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say that. Their defense was actually pretty good today, or Sunday. They held them to 16 points. So if the offense was just a little better, he did get hurt. It looked like both quarterbacks on both teams running for their lives. Taylor Huntley, just, I don't know. I mean, so here's my other question. Do the Ravens just look out to just get black quarterbacks on their team? When he came out and I saw another dude come in, Taylor Huntley wears 2, other dude wore 12. I was like, that's not the same guy, but he's black and he's a little tall, just like the other 2 quarterbacks. Lamar, I don't know what they're doing out there. Mitch Trubisky just flushed this game down the toilet for them. He was throwing just ugly pick after ugly pick after ugly pick. He's clearly just a backup now, and that is okay. Because I mean, there's a lot of backups in this league that has made a lot of money, i.e. Chase Daniels. Look him up. He was on the Eagles before. That man's made a lot of money doing absolutely nothing. The Ravens' run game was fucking bomb. J.K. Dobbins, you watched it. It didn't even look like it was out. Yeah, I think he had 14 carries. I think he had 125 yards, TD, breaking tackles here and there. The Ravens deserve this win. Their defense is back. End of the day, Steelers, you might as well just shut it down. There's not going to be a, oh, well, maybe we can make the play. Nah, shut it down. Shut it down. Just shut it down. Jags, Titans. The Titans definitely looked like they were extremely hungover after that ass whooping that they got last week. They had pressure all day in the quarterback's face, coupled with actually 4 turnovers. You're going to lose that game if you do that. They had negative 8 yards in the third quarter with 3 minutes to go. And then it was a sack after that, and I'm like, they're not. I don't know where they're going with this, and they're still leading the division, which is crazy. Trevor Lawrence, he was very poised in the pocket. I saw a couple plays where he could have rolled out and tried to get 3 or 4 yards, but he backed up. Like, no, I can see some receivers downfield, and that's a sign of a quarterback who's growing. I like that, and obviously because he's got Dougie P on his side. On the other hand, on the goal line, he had this nasty stiff arm because he trusts himself. The man's 6'4", 6'5", 240. Hey man, the Jags defense was flying all over the place, and this was Trevor Lawrence's only second win on the road. The Titans are fumbling away in this opportunity to make the playoffs. The league is giving them this opportunity with them having a bad division and giving them teams that they've beaten several times before, and they're just squandering it. Yeah, this is not good. They got mollywopped, so hate to see it. Cowboys, Texans. The outcome of this game almost ruined my fucking day. It started off how I expected with the Cowboys winning. I mean, you're playing a team who only has 1 win. They have 10 losses. Texans are just getting scrappy. They're taking the ball away. They get some stops, but Cowboys are like, no. You still suck. We're good. We're going to go up. And then the Texans got a second half lead going in to halftime 2017. And I'm like, oh. So the way I watched the game is on here. The Cowboys game is on here, and I'm just doing this because I'm dusting off the Giants, and I'm like, yo, the Texans might be the Cowboys. They got the 4th and goal stop. Why do you think that you could just run it up the gut? If they had just doing a toss pass, that's easy money. And I was doing my best to focus, but after they got the stop, I'm like, all right, bet. And then he throws Rain throws a fucking pick on his own 15, and then the Texans decide to turn back into the 1-10-1 Texans. They don't get a touchdown. They don't even get 3 points from their 4-yard line. Okay, that's cool. Forget it. You're good. Don't worry about it. And then the Texans defense said, hold my beer. We're going to Texan as well. 98-yard drive to win the game. They could have beaten them soundly. You can't score from the 3. I like that they were doing the whole put your backup in, put the other backup in thing, because then you don't know, because they don't game plan for both of them. But the Texans, I mean, I'm mad because they could have lost, but what do you expect from a team who's only won 1 game in 14 weeks? The only question I pose for Cowboys fans is, are you really happy about this? I get a win is a win, and I do understand what that means, but you almost lost, and it took you a drive in the 4th quarter against the hands down worst team in the league. You really happy about that? Whatever, man. Panthers, Seahawks. Somebody went into their garage and was like, let me get the old Geno Smith out. They dusted him off. That man started the day off with an interception. The Panthers' offense was very simple. They didn't get too cute. They know that they have Sam Darnold. Just run the fucking ball. They got themselves into a very nice lead and then never looked back. Of course, Geno then throws another pick. And then he almost threw another one, and if it wasn't for replay, because the man's toe was on the line, I think he had it, but it is what it is. Geno gets back in the game, but kudos to the Panthers coach for not making the game too complicated for Sam Darnold, who's coming off injury, and he's just now starting again. Run the ball, little pass here and there. I don't know what the Seahawks deal is. They've been losing to They've lost all 4 games to all NFC South teams. I don't know what that is about. I mean, at least they don't have to play him again. And the Panthers, man, they might be trying to fuck around and find out. That's their first road win in 9 games. 9 games. If they win out, they make the playoffs. If they could somehow get Sam Darnold to just ride the wave, continue to run the ball, like at the end of the game, when the Seahawks were actually coming back, they had 2 straight touchdowns. That pass to Tyler Lockett from Geno Smith was fucking a dime. But the Panthers was like, nope, I don't care what y'all doing. We're going to continue to run this ball. Panthers trying to fuck around and find out. Y'all better watch out. Bills Jets, this is a very defensive game on both sides of the ball. It was like 0-0, like almost at the end of the second quarter. Stephon Diggs had 1 for 4 close to the end of the second quarter, and I think that was just a thing where Josh Allen wasn't trying to force the ball, because that man put his fucking Superman cape on and was like, fuck it, I don't give a shit what's going to happen. I'm going to make sure we win this game. They were in a lot of third downs, the Bills were, especially when the Jets pass rush was getting to him, but they were opening the lane for him to just run straight through. And then, you know, if you watch football, you know Josh Allen, he does not give a shit about contact. The man is a husky boy. When Mike White got injured, not even Joe Flacco wanted Joe Flacco to be playing in this game. That man looked stiff. He looked like a brick wall with a football in his hand. It was weird. And Josh Allen was just jumping over people, running, throwing. If he could have kicked it, he would have done it. He didn't give a shit. He wanted to win this game badly. And the Jets defense was good enough to give him a chance. But when you can't run the ball, and I know they miss Breece Hall bars, it's not much you can do. I got to watch this game with one of my best friends. He came back from Chicago. He's a Jets fan. It wasn't a good outcome for him, but it was what it was. Jets defense is really good. They just need to find an identity, find a quarterback. And the Bills, as much as they got praised during the beginning of the season, even in the middle of the season when people were saying that Josh Allen was the MVP, looking kind of shaky, especially when you're playing division rivals and not handling that business. Might want to think about that. Bengals, Browns, okay, and then we're getting gritty on again. It was an ugly game by the Browns, and for me, it was just too much orange and brown for my eyeballs. Just a weird visual. I'm like, what? Somebody wear something different, but they can. I mean, you play the games that you play. Joe Burrow was keeping it safe. He was just dinking and dunking. He didn't have a pass over 25 yards for almost 2 quarters. Thankfully, the Bengals can run the ball, and their defense has no real weaknesses. Their linebackers are great. Their front four is great. Their DBs are good. Their safeties are good. So kudos to them for having that. And anyone who thought that Deshaun Watson was coming in to save the day, you probably smoke meth and, you know, drink a fucking bottle of Rumple Mints every day. It's been 2 years. He's going to be rusty. When he gets more in shape, he's going to run the ball a little bit more. When he gets more familiar with his receivers and his offense and his line, which they need to get better at, he's going to be better. But if you thought that he was going to get in, you know, put in this starter role and just take off, no, you're an idiot. Bengals are peaking at the perfect time. They were at the same exact record last year when they went to Super Bowl. Think about that. But like I said, the Browns need an identity, and this was just a very boring game. So, you know, Bengals just handled business. I think they lost the last 4 games against the Browns, which is weird because the Browns have been terrible. So, kudos to them. Patriots, Cardinals. I didn't write anything down for this because this is a boring ass game. The Patriots were just kicking field goals and just taking what they could get. The Cardinals unfortunately lost their quarterback Kyler Murray at the 3rd play of the game. Non-contact ACL, which is what it speculated, which sucks. And this is why you pay, or this is why players say, can I get paid? Because you never know when these things are going to happen. Say he didn't get his contract and he tears his ACL. Now the organization has the upper hand, like, I don't know if I should pay you. You're damaged goods. No. I need my bread. Mac Jones. I will give Mac Jones some credit. Last year, he looked like a player who was just telegraphing it or hoping that the pass was going to be there. Now he's like making throws like, nah, I can get it in there. I got 2 things because, like I said, this game was just very boring. 2 things about this, and they're both dealing with Nelson Aguilar. Thank you, Nelson Aguilar, for being on the team and winning the Super Bowl. One, this man drops so many passes. A lot. Nothing new. Two, though, there was a play where Devontae Parker got clearly concussed. I mean, like, when he stood up, his player had to hold him up, and then he like dipped, and he had to hold him up again. And then Nelson Aguilar, before the play starts, like, no. Kudos to you, bro, because in the league you have coaches looking, you have a guy up at the top looking for anybody who's wobbly, doing this. Nobody stopped the play. Nelson's like, no. This man is clearly concussed. What the hell? So, good shit for you, Nelly, on a character, but you're terrible at catching the football, my boy. Some random thoughts. I was out. Yo, the Charlie Brown Christmas theme, that thing be slapping. That thing slapped. Like, I was just sitting there and I was like, it's that Charlie Brown, boy, you know. Especially during the holiday season. My weird thought was, it's getting cold outside, and I was like, walking, and I had to blow my nose. Back in the day, people had hankies, right, where you slide it in your, like, oh, you need to blow your nose, but then you put your snot rag right back in your pocket. Now, what do you need to blow your nose again? So you blow your nose into the snot that you already put in your pocket that has been dry. That's gross. That's fucking gross. That's so gross. It was such a random. I'm like, and then you got a suit on. Yeah, it is what it is. Big ups to the first state. Stay focused and be great. Take a sip. Much love from the kid. Enjoy your day. Enjoy life. Stay chill. The holidays are ramping up. Y'all better get y'all gifts before it's too late. BWBIV.com.